Okay, let's talk about your bank account. Because here's the honest truth. The one you have right now is probably a massive ripoff. But, and this is the good news, in the next few minutes, we're going to show you exactly how to fix that, for good. So let's dive in.
I mean, seriously, think about it. If Amazon delivered your stuff late all the time or started charging you random fees, you would be gone in a second. You'd cancel. But when it comes to the place that holds our actual life savings, for some reason we put up with service we wouldn't tolerate from anyone else. Why do we do that?
And look at this crazy disconnect. Over here, you've got the philosophy that built an empire like Amazon. Just build a great experience. Simple. But over on the other side, you've got the reality for most of us with banking. It's just a minefield of punishing fees, awful service, and sometimes stuff that's flat out illegal. This paradox, it's costing us real money.
And that brings us right to our first major point. Your bank is probably a ripoff. And you know what? This isn't some new problem. Banks have been showing us who they are for years and years. The trick is to just stop making excuses for them and actually believe what their actions are telling us.
Man, this quote from a 36-year-old named Jamie it hits hard, doesn't it? It really captures that raw frustration that so many of us feel. It's not just about one little fee, it's this deep feeling of being tricked, like the whole system is rigged against you. This is the real emotional heart of the problem.
So how exactly are they pulling this off? Let's take a look behind the curtain, because the scale of how banks profit from us, often when we're at our most vulnerable, is pretty shocking.
Okay, get ready for this number. $34 billion. That's not their total profit. That is just what banks in the US made from overdraft fees in one single year. This isn't some little side hustle for them. It's a core part of their business model, and it's built entirely on our small mistakes.
So what even is an overdraft fee? Well, it's basically a penalty, usually around $30, that your bank charges you for the favor of covering a purchase you didn't have the money for. You'd think they would just, decline the card, right? Nope. They see an opportunity to let it go through and then slam you with a huge fee for their help.
And if you're wondering how that $34 billion adds up so fast, just listen to Nathan's story here. One tiny miscalculation. He went over by less than $5, and it spiraled into $100 in fees. The system isn't just broken, it's designed to be punishing like this.
And look, this isn't always just about sneaky fees. In the really bad cases, it's straight-up systemic fraud. I mean, the Wells Fargo scandal is the perfect, horrifying example. We're talking 3.5 million fake accounts opened without permission, millions in fees from those accounts. They even forced 500,000 people into car insurance they didn't need, which led to thousands of people getting their cars repossessed. This isn't just an accident. It's a pattern of behavior.
Okay, so if we know all this, if we feel that frustration, we see the headlines, why on earth do we stay? Well, this is where it gets psychological. See, the banks are counting on a very, very powerful human tendency, our own inertia.
And this, right here, is the sound of that inertia. 20 years with the same bank. It just becomes a habit, right? It's the default setting for your financial life, so you stop questioning it, even if it's not working for you. That phrase, "it's always been that way," is one of the most expensive phrases in all of personal finance.
And then there's the other side of that coin. It just feels like a huge pain to switch. The more tangled up you are with a bad bank, you've got checking, savings, direct deposit, all your auto pays, the more impossible it feels to leave. They've basically built this cage of convenience, and the thought of that gigantic, annoying time suck is what keeps us locked inside.
This one might sound a little strange, but it's real. Sometimes there's an actual emotional attachment. Maybe it was your very first adult bank account, the one your parents helped you open when you were a teenager. It's a surprisingly powerful reason people stick with a bank that is actively costing them money.
So let's give this whole thing a name. It's called an invisible money script. It's that story you tell yourself, probably without even realizing it, to justify not taking action. Oh, it's too much of a headache. Or all banks are the same anyway. Or I just don't have time to figure it out. The first step to changing your situation is just recognizing that you're telling yourself that story.
Okay, enough about the problem. Let's talk about the solution. It's time to build a better system for your money. And the whole philosophy here is incredibly simple. Stop wasting your time chasing pennies and start focusing on the big wins.
Look, we get so obsessed with the wrong things, like stressing about finding a savings account that pays like 0.5% more in interest. That tiny difference might make you, a couple extra bucks a month? But now think about this. One single $30 overdraft fee can wipe out more than a year's worth of those tiny interest gains. Just gone.
The real win isn't earning an extra $2, it's saving $30. So here it is, the ideal setup. It's super simple and incredibly powerful. First, you need a no-fee checking account. Think of this as your inbox. All your income, your paychecks, they all flow in here. Second, you get a separate, high-yield savings account, probably at a different online bank. This is your vault, and the psychology here is everything. By keeping your spending money totally separate from your savings, you make it way harder to just dip into your long-term goals for short-term impulse buys.
All right, now for the fun part. Let's get tactical. This isn't just theory. This is your actual game plan. It's the 1-hour fix that can solve this problem for the rest of your life.
Okay, this slide is your cheat sheet, pure utility. On the left, we've got a list of really great banks to consider. These are mostly online banks known for having low or no fees and actually good customer service. These are perfect for that vault savings account or even for your main checking. And on the right, the big ones you should probably avoid. It's not a complete list, of course, but it's a fantastic place to start. But hey, what if you want to try to fix your account at your current bank first? That's fine, but you need to be prepared. They are probably going to tell you a no-fee account is impossible. Do not believe them. Here's the exact script for how you challenge that.
So, step 1. You call them up and you start very simply, very directly. No anger, no emotion. Just a clear, calm request. Hi, I notice my account has fees. I'd like a no-fee, no-minimum account, please.
Now, chances are they're going to come back with some reason why they can't do that. That is your cue. You calmly reply, "Really? That's interesting because Ali Bank is offering me that exact deal right now. Could you check again?" The second you name a competitor, you completely change the conversation. You're not just a customer asking for a favor anymore. You're an informed consumer with other options.
And if they still hesitate, here's the final move, the clincher. You remind them of your loyalty and you put the ball right back in their court. Look, I've been a customer for 10 years and I really want to make this work. What can you do to help me stay? This line forces them to see you as a valuable asset that they're about to lose. It's amazing how often a solution suddenly becomes available.
So here's the bottom line. We've talked about the problem, the psychology that keeps us stuck, and a step-by-step solution. It might take you 1 hour of focused work, 1 hour to research a new bank or to make that phone call. But that single hour can save you hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars in fees and a lifetime of frustration. So the only question left is, are you ready to make the call?